Bald, white, tanned man in New York and a hot curly-haired Frenchman in London. You're listening to Across the Pond with Wyatt and Julien.
Dude, I need water. I haven't drank water enough. Hold on.
Nah, I'm drinking water.
Hold on.
Are you still drinking?
Yeah. All right. I'm good.
It's funny because you said water and then I drank water. I don't know how that works.
It's a reminder.
Yeah, but it's true that if you're in a classroom, I don't know if you are ever, but if you pick up your bottle of water and start drinking, it's guaranteed that at least one person will do the same thing, and normally it's like more than one.
Something to do with mirroring, right?
See, I want to do it as well. I'm not even thirsty.
I should pick it up and then not drink. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably something like, was like mirror neurons or like.
Yeah, it's mirroring.
I wonder if there's something with like if you feel more comfortable with someone in the classroom, like if they're paying attention to someone.
Yeah, because
mirror what they're doing. Richard
and I had a fun game where we play it sometimes. I saw online that if you do this with your lips, like if you do that,
like you lick your lips.
Yeah, if you lick your lips, then.
If anyone back home listening, he's doing that scene in The Office where they say like lick your lips is a signal, and it's very over exaggerated.
But when you do it, apparently, people will do it as well. If you should do that. So if you want to see if like someone is looking at you, maybe I'm not, you can just do that as a test and see if they're doing it.
Lick my lips?
Yeah, and then see if they lick their lips as well. Fun little tip.
So yeah, it's a nice little trick. Potentially. Yeah. What else is new?
I don't know. What else is new? I've got a new t-shirt. Richard got a new t-shirt. It's Hercules. And the back is...
Is that a brand or is that you?
Is it? It's a brand. It's the Disney movie. And behind at the back
it's also a Greek god. Well, he's not a god, is he? Hercules isn't a god, right?
Demigod. Like semi-god or whatever. And but
is
at
the
back,
animated one?
Yeah, the back that's him when he's like younger. And then there's him when he's like older and like built, and it says like I lift weight every day or something like that.
Gotcha. And you don't want to show me that?
I can't be bothered turning around.
Okay. Well, the picture in my head's probably...
Can you see?
I see.
Oh, no. There you go.
I do muscle ups every day.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I wish you got me that.
Is it custom or is it...
No, I think it's just you found it online. Already made.
All right, you want to talk about mental health or what?
What a way to announce
topic,
the topic.
So,
is it though? I don't know. You have
what specifically do you want to talk about? Because it's a very buzzy word these days.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that it is a buzzword, and I feel like we need to talk a bit more like quietly and more like because it's about mental health.
No, let's change that narrative.
And have a disclaimer as well. We're not health professionals. No, I was thinking about how our generation, and that's the millennials, go back to episode 2 of the podcast. I think some of us might think too much about mental health, and it is a buzzword. And I think the people that probably need to talk about it are the ones that don't talk about it, and people that talk about it too much probably don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, it's true. The people who actually probably do have legit problems don't talk about it because they probably don't want to feel isolated.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, they're scared or something.
Because sometimes,
imposters.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome.
Imposters. It's such a hard topic to talk about. You can't.
We can change it if you want. If you feel like it's a...
No. It's a good topic to talk about. I'm saying it's so hard to talk about because you mentioned the people that probably need to talk about it don't talk about it, and the people who do probably don't need to. And I was gonna say, like, yeah, the imposters don't need to, but who is to say who actually has problems and who doesn't have problems? You know.
Apparently Wyatt.
Right. Only me. I'm probably not the imposters. No.
Yeah. Because I remember like maybe a year ago, my friend I think she was feeling a bit down and stuff, and her first reaction was like, it's my mental health, like my thoughts, blah, blah. And very typical of our generation, she just went straight to mental health, but didn't think to do a blood check. And she was lacking, I think, folate and other things that actually can make you feel down. And I think we're so focused on it's such a buzzword that we hear about all the time that we don't even think about. Maybe you're not getting enough sun, maybe you're not going out enough to get vitamin D, and maybe you're not eating enough of the right stuff to get enough iron or enough folate or whatever, and that's what's impacting your mood, and it's not necessarily just your thoughts. So I thought that was interesting because it's very typical of like our generation to just go straight to mental health, read like a self-help book about it, and self-diagnose.
Yeah. So you're saying more along the lines of if you are feeling like if you have brain fog or you're in a funk, people go more to like saying like I need to give myself time to be with myself or like whatever, as opposed to actually might be a legit medical issue with like your body or...
I mean, that was one example just to highlight the fact that something that was never talked about before, and now I think sometimes we talk about it too much.
Yeah. So, do you think, like, when I say talk about it, so, like, when I think about, I guess, the negative half of talking about mental health, like, there's so many things that your brain or body does that are just normal. Like, feeling anxious is normal. Mm-hmm. Feeling tired is normal. Having brain fog every now and then is normal. It's not normal if you always feel it, and it's not normal if, like, it's legitimately a problem, but, like, just because you're anxious doesn't mean you have a problem with like your mental health. But when I think about people talking about it too much, I think that kind of stuff of like normal human feelings are not like issues with mental health. They're things that they're positive that you need to work through or like recognize and then just adjust your day. But is that how you think about it?
Yeah, no, 100%. There was things that were said about being bored and how like when a child is bored, parents always try to like get them to do things and like distract them. When actually, in fact, you should feel bored. That's again like it's a legitimate feeling, and you need to experience it and accept it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to embrace the emotion that's coming at you, I guess.
Yeah. Quick, and not really a sidebar, but like I am in no place to say anything about this because I don't have kids and I never raised kids, so I don't know what it's like. But dude, whenever I see a parent like giving their kid like this little screen just to look at, like, you can't just like talk to your kid for a little bit or like give him a book or something. Like, what does he have? But I guess I played Game Boy growing up. That was pretty fun. I don't know why that feels different, but I don't know. I don't have a kid, so I can't say. I don't know what it's like. But it seems like just giving your kid a screen to look at is not the right move. But that's not really anything to do with mental health. But it helps their mental health, maybe. Maybe it helps.
No, I'm sure it actually probably impacts it. It's like that instant gratification from like looking at your phone or binge watching TV series and all that. You don't wait anymore. Like I think we talked about it before maybe, but like, you know, I would have to wait like every week to watch the next Power Ranger episode on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Whereas like now you can just binge watch everything. Like my nieces, when they watch Bluey, they just don't watch just the one episode. They watch like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah. And what's the point of strollers too? Just carry your kid. Is it that hard just to carry your child?
Oh, you're gonna make friends today. I can sense it.
But we were talking about mental health.
Mental health.
Mental health. Well then, yeah, I guess. Well, how do you see it in yourself? Like, how? When would you use the term in relation to yourself? Of like, you're not in a good place, or I don't know, thinking about.
Yeah, what I find hard about this stuff is that I never feel like it's necessarily my thought that are causing me like that feeling of feeling down. I sometimes feel
mental health is like more about your thoughts. Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's the way I interpret it. Maybe I'm wrong. I pretty should have googled what it means.
I mean I think there's many different definitions, but I guess that could be one of them. If you have like negative self-talk, that would affect your mental health, or positive self-talk.
Because whenever I feel down, it's always like I feel it in my gut, not in the head. I don't even know if it's because I'm eating the wrong thing. I don't know. I've got no idea.
Probably food poisoning.
Yeah, food poisoning. At least once a year. No, I did get quite a lot January time in the winter, lack of sun exposure. I would get quite down, and then I realized that's what it was. So I started taking vitamin D, and now I'm much better in the winter. But I would feel a bit like down. I don't know. Sometimes you just feel like shit for no reason, and that's so annoying. And sometimes, like, when I feel fine and there's things that make me laugh, I'm like, I need to remind myself of this when I feel down just to get me out of it. But I never can remember that thing or find something that's going to make me laugh when I feel down, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So I think, it's just, like, accepting that feeling. And normally it doesn't last more than a day or two, like, it's...
Yeah. It is weird when you feel down. That you completely forget about all the happy moments. It's just weird. Like, you are a completely different person. And even if you tell yourself, even if you've gone through like multiple times and you like logically are like, you've done this before, and you know that this is irrational and like you actually are happy, or you can feel happy. It's like, nope.
Yeah. And when that happens, like, I never know if being around people is making it better or worse. Because sometimes there are things that will make you snap out of it without you realizing it. If like someone called you was like, oh, I've got a problem, blah, blah, and you would stop thinking about it maybe. So that makes you snap out of it, or something big has happened so you don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
For me, at least in terms of people, I'd say more often than not, people will put me into a better mood. It might put me into a more stressed mood, but it would put me into more like active. Like there's a version of it. There's down in terms of like you just feel like sad and like depressed, I guess. But and then there's down in terms of like I'm stressed and like I don't feel like I'm worried or something like that kind of. But overall, people overall being around people puts me in a good mood. Only time it doesn't is if I've been around people for a lot, or I've been very, very busy, and I need like some time to myself.
Yeah, that's important too. I think for me, like when I've had those days, sometimes calling a friend and just to chat about random stuff has helped. And even like I think going for a workout can help, but not always. It's weird, and sometimes just literally there's no reason why you're feeling that way, and it's very frustrating. But
yeah, it is very odd. It must just be like your body's way of saying you need to like recharge a little bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like for me, like I think that I've got two main feelings that probably lead to it, and one is like boredom. Boredom would make me feel that way quite easily, and loneliness sometimes as well. You get that just feeling of, and that loneliness is annoying because you can be around people, you can be around a lot of people and still feel lonely, and that's just very weird. And these are the main feelings that I probably get. Makes me feel a bit sad.
Yeah.
But normally, like, it lasts, like I said, a day or two.
Yeah, loneliness for sure. That's like, I guess going back to the people thing, like, the one guarantee to like put me in a bad space is if I'm like, if a buildup of loneliness feeling comes on, as opposed to like if I'm around people a lot and like active. And what was your other one? Your other one was
Boredom.
Boredom. Yeah, it's weird how like boredom will put you in a state that like you have less energy, where it should energize you to do things. But I guess once you find something to do, you have a rush of energy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're both not great. There's so many topics like that you can dig in deep in on this topic, but it feels uncomfortable, of like actual like personal experiences and stuff. I don't know. That's why when you asked me if I want to do the topic, I was like, I don't really want to do it. But then I'm like, I guess it's a good topic. Yeah. Yeah. So when you do have those moments of boredom or loneliness that kind of trigger a place where you feel like your mental health isn't good, what is like your go-to, like what's your normal pattern that you fall into, or like things you like, not necessarily actions you take to get out of it, but like I imagine you probably fall into a pattern when you go into that state.
I feel like normally I just wait till the next day because there's nothing that's gonna make me snap. Like, I find that sometimes when you wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, I'm always fine. You know, like that first like 2 minutes, you've forgotten about everything. You don't think about anything. You're just in that little morning haze phase, and it's just everything is fine. And then the day starts, and then maybe you pick stuff up on the way, like either something's happened or like someone's energy is off, or like what there's so many things that could happen during the day, and then you. So I think for me, like sleeping is probably the best thing. Going for a walk, but I don't know. I think yesterday was one of those where like I kind of had it to a point where I was in a work event where it was very quiet, and it was a few of us, but I just felt like that was such a waste of a day, like very bored. And then I was meeting a friend later on, and I had a 2 hour until I got to like see her. So I was just kind of went for a walk for an hour, and it just didn't feel right. But then I just went to a coffee shop and I worked on an essay that I've got to do, and that made me snap out of it because I felt better afterwards because I achieved something and I'd done part of the essay.
Yeah.
But that was quite a unique situation. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? Did we talk about this already?
I think we talked about that in the first episode.
Did we? Was it just me, or did you talk about it too?
I can't remember. But first thing, like, I was just a bit dehydrated and I need to drink water. That's the main thing. But I feel fine. I'm never down in the morning. I don't think I can be.
Really?
No. It takes a while to kick in. How about
Once
you?
your thoughts start going. I usually don't feel good when I wake up, and then it'll get to a better place as I get moving. Usually like the first 20-30 minutes are not pleasant. Unless I'm really excited about something, and like I'm thinking about stuff actively, then I usually have dreamt about that thing or whatever it is, and then I'll wake up with ideas. Otherwise, it's not great.
Yeah.
Do you meditate? Did I ask you that?
Not really. I'm really aware that I'm on my phone too much, and I try to have this rule where I do it every year. I do it at least 2 weeks, and I stop, of not having my phone near the bed, and try to keep it in a separate room. But it always comes back, so I always use it.
Yeah. It is such a great time to look at your phone.
It is, isn't it?
It's like, it's also at the end of the day, you're tired, you're like, I just want to watch something stupid.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, yeah, or I research things. that I want to be doing. So then I get excited and I can't sleep. So
Yeah, it does do something. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's the light. I think it's just how it activates your brain to like, we're doing stuff now, and it's like it keeps you awake for sure. As opposed to reading a book that puts me to sleep in like a second.
yeah.
That's another thing too. I know if I pick up a book, I'm gonna fall asleep right away, and maybe I don't want to fall asleep right away. Have you ever tried therapy?
No, I thought about it at one point. But I guess it's the other thing that I've realised. I don't think, it might sound controversial, that looking in too much is a good idea. I think sometimes you
Just bottle it up, package it away, don't take a look.
it will disappear. No, but like, I think it's important to like work through stuff. Like I think I know myself quite well now, and I know why I do certain things and why I don't do certain things. Like I think I'm well aware, and I can even pinpoint to like what point in my childhood or whatever. But you can't spend too much time doing that, because then you become your own story, and that's one of the things that I realize with people. Like, especially as you get older, you repeat the same stories over and over again, and you become your stories. And I don't want that to happen to me. So that's why maybe I ask a lot of questions like with other people. I want to get to know other people, and like I don't want to spend too much time focusing on my own stuff, because then it's just too much. It's pretty bad.
You're not facing outward.
Yeah, if you look in too much, what's that? I don't know.
The reverse of that is being a therapist. Then it's all outward stuff.
It's true. How about you? Have you done therapy before? Have you thought about it?
I did try it. I did a few sessions, and I think it is incredibly helpful, but it's not worth the cost.
Yeah.
For me, it's very important for me to like, because like there's so many people out there, so like the vetting process is like such a mental hurdle of like, am I getting someone good? How long is it gonna take to know if they're good? So that was like, I don't really want to go through this. And then yeah, it's like, I think there are some systems where it's like $20 copay or something like that. But then in my head, I'm like, this person obviously isn't very good. But I think the most important, like, it's very helpful to have someone to talk to that you know is not going to say anything to anyone else, or at least like that's your thought. Like, you're just basically getting stuff off your chest that you're thinking through. So you're basically just like thinking through your thoughts out loud. But at a certain point, you just kind of start talking about the same things, and it's like, well, this isn't really worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I was like a billionaire, for sure, I would just like find a cool therapist and just talk to him once a week. But it's literally just like, it feels nice to have someone to talk to. But I stopped doing it.
Yeah, actually, I just remembered, I lied. I actually went to see a psychologist when I was a kid. And I was maybe 9,
Liar.
10. I know. Well, he said therapist, psychologist is a different beast. Isn't it? Yeah, I had a few sessions when I was 10, 9, 10, yeah. Because I was being bullied at school. That was fun.
Was it helpful?
No.
I feel like a child therapist is like, unless you get like a really good one, there could be some problems with that, you know?
But also, that doesn't like remove the bullies or anything, right? You still go to school every day.
Now you're just some kid who goes to therapy. Just more material for the bullies.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it there? What was the guy's advice or girl's advice?
I don't remember. I just remember like drawing stuff. I can't remember anything apart from drawing something, and then it's basically I went from like primary school to secondary school, and I made friends in secondary school like in the first like few days, and that's when I felt better. So that's when we stopped. In case you're wondering, it went downhill again later on, but I didn't go to see a psychologist.
Still going down.
Still going downhill.
Yeah. Therapy is very popular these days too. Honestly, all you need to do is just be someone to talk to. That's all it is. That's all a therapist is. Just don't be a dick. And like, be someone they feel comfortable talking to. Because they'll work through it on their own, you know.
But then there's like cognitive, what's it called? When you can actually change your brain pattern or something through cognitive therapy. Is that what it's called?
Cognitive therapy? Cognitive behavioral therapy?
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think therapists can do that. I think you have to go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, right?
I don't know if that involves like brain scans or anything. It's I guess, I mean, that would make sense. If you're trying to actually change your behavior, you have to change the way your mind, I mean, that's what therapy is too. It's like the way you act is because of the way your brain processes signals, and like which areas are more active than others. So like ultimately you're trying to just change your brain and like work on something enough until it becomes common or like normal practice, you know?
Yeah.
How do you feel about medication?
Medication. I've never had to take it for anything, so I wouldn't know. I think it's very tough with medication, I find. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you can't really, if you're like anti it, which I am, I can't say like with confidence, because I don't really know if someone needs it or not. I don't know if it makes someone's lives better. I don't know if without it, like if they would have a terrible life or like, so I don't know for sure. My stance is that ultimately everything, well, again, that's not entirely true. Like ultimately most things you can work through on your own. Sometimes it's very difficult, sometimes it's close to impossible, but like you can change your mind to be something different or anything different really. But there are people that it is probably literally impossible. It's probably possible, but virtually impossible, because like they're so far gone in a certain direction.
And there's like chemical imbalance and all that. I know some people who have used antidepressant as a tool and then they come off them and that's helped them. My mum actually had a bit of a depressive phase for it lasted a month, but for her it didn't work. That medication was not good. She was just like on the couch sleeping all day. It was terrible. But I think it's good that it's available, and I think it probably work for some people.
The thing that's so weird about it is that I think it takes like 30 days for it to actually start working, which is just
you feel worse first, yeah.
But it's just a weird like concept of like you take Advil, I feel good in 30 minutes, and then I don't feel good in 4 hours. Easy. Yeah. I get it. Something like if you said take an Advil today and in 30 days you'll feel good, I don't know how long you'll feel good, but you'll start feeling good in 30 days. Could be forever, could be 6 months. It's like, dude, I'm not taking that. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna like sign up for something that's not gonna take effect for 30 days and that just might change me. You know? I think supposedly they have this new thing. I have no idea what it's called because I don't remember, but like it's something in San Francisco or Stanford or something that they basically, it's electrical waves that, I think you mentioned something like this.
I think I did,
like
yeah.
It'll actually change. Yeah, I think you mentioned like that'll bring someone out of like a major depressive state or something. Which that's
amazing, yeah.
Like that would be way cooler than medication, because that's like actual, because like those states are just states of your brainwaves essentially. Like there's certain things that are more active than others, and if you can change that, then like that's really what you're just trying to change. You don't really need the medication in that sense.
I feel like we need to crack up a few jokes now, because what's the
You're gonna cry?
Bummer. What do you say?
So you're gonna cry?
I'm not gonna cry now, because I'm a man.
I feel like we could have gone a lot deeper on some stuff, but it's a pretty good overview, right?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I think it's a good.
It's just a hard topic. It's just a hard topic.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No. So does that mean we're wrapping up? Is that what this means?
Yeah. It's wrap-up time. The depressed version. The depressed version.
Yeah. What did we cover here? Julien had a tough childhood.
No, it did not.
Um,
Only school.
I think the whole theme is like, I think there's a common with like a lot of different topics or areas of like, when is something actually worth looking into, and when is it like something that people are using as a crutch or like an excuse, or like overusing something. And like this is such like a buzzy topic, and it is good that a lot more people are talking about this stuff these days, but obviously it can go too far and people are using it or thinking about it too much, when, you know, sometimes you just kind of have to figure it out without blaming it on something else. You know, it's just a normal thing, and sometimes you gotta work through a couple bad days. Doesn't mean that necessarily something's wrong. Sometimes you just have a couple bad days.
Yeah.
And everything else was the jury's out. Medication and all that stuff.
One thing that I will add is, if you ever feel like a friend or someone you know doesn't look like they're okay, just ask them. It's always fine to ask, I'd say, as well.
It is.
If they're having a bad day or something.
And then they never talk to you again.
But that's fine.
But it's fine to ask. Yeah. Yeah, what was there's that commercial with it was like two guys going to a football game. It's gonna be a little bit contrast to what you said a little bit. Like going to a football game. Guess what? Soccer. It's a soccer game. I call it a football game. Soccer game. Football. But like one dude's going nuts and he's super excited. He's like, "God, I love this game," and I like coming here. And like there's another dude who's just not saying anything. Looks very sad. And like they go through a couple iterations, and like one of them, the guy who's sad, shows up, and the other guy's not there. And then it's like something about like check in with like your friend or something. But like the guy who was like overly excited and happy was actually the one who was struggling. Yeah. So even if they are happy,
just check it. Just in case.
Check it. Yeah. But yeah, it's always a hard topic for dudes as well, you know. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
For dudes.
Hard dude topic. That it?
I think that's it.
All right.
Bye.